Hola, buenos días amigos y bienvenidos a clase número 17. Hoy vamos a aprender cómo hablar sobre el futuro. Pero primero vamos a revisar cómo decir la hora. Entonces, pon estas palabras en el buen orden. Por ejemplo, número 1, la una es la una, it's 1 o'clock. Venga, 5 minutos. Y las respuestas en 1, 2 y 3. Vamos, ¿ok? Correcta. Y vamos a continuar. Mirad, hay un problema en cada frase. Hay un problema. Por favor, correcta estas frases. Y listos en 1, 2, 3. Okay, correct your answers for me. I just wanted to remind you of a couple of things. When we learned how to tell the time, we established that when you say it's 1 o'clock, we are using the phrase es la una. Okay, everything is singular. The minute you go above 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, you're going to say son las dos because we're talking about plural nouns there. Also, I thought it'd be worthwhile mentioning to you, seeing as we've seen the word una a lot. Actually, if you put an accent, a tilde over the n, uña, then the word changes its meaning completely and it means a nail. Las uñas, nails. Okay, so just a reminder why accents are actually really important in Spanish. And I promised you we'd go through your homework from the last lesson, all about a problem at a restaurant. And so I'll try and do this as quickly as I can with you. How do you say waiter in Spanish? Camarero, although you might know the word mesero as well. 2 details about the reservation. It's a table for 2 at 8:30. Where will the table be located? Next to the toilets. Ugh. How does the customer feel about this? Well, look, they've said, que horror. They're really not happy about it. They feel a bit horrified about it. Is the waiter able to offer a solution and explain your answer? Sorry, but there are no more tables. So no, they can't do anything to help there. And what does que pena mean? Well, que pena means that's awful. What a bad thing to be happening. What does the customer want for starters? They order a ham omelette with a spicy salsa, and for their friend, meat with tomato. Why can't he have these items? Well, according to the waiter, they are a vegetarian restaurant. So what does the customer ask for instead? Well, they ask for a Spanish omelette. Yum. Why is that also a problem? They say we don't have any more potatoes. How do you say anything else in Spanish all the way down here? Algo más, anything else. What does the customer want to drink? Una copa de vino tinto, a glass of red wine. What's the issue with that? They don't serve alcohol in the restaurant. How much is the final bill and what is it for, seeing as they don't seem to have eaten anything? It's €5 and it's for the bread that they had. What does propina mean? That's tip. The waiter is actually asking for a tip after all the disaster going on. And the customer, how do they react? No puedo creerlo. I can't believe it. I'm off. They're not very happy. Okay, very excited. We're going to get a grammar geek on today and talk about and learn how to form what is referred to as the near or immediate future in Spanish. The best way to think of it is it would contain the word going. For example, this Sunday I am going to eat a roast. Tonight I am going to drink a glass of wine, at least. Tomorrow I am going to have an Italian meal. This weekend I am going to learn Spanish. Next month I am going to prepare a meal for my friends. Later today, she is going to eat a vegan meal prepared by my gran. And in the near future, we are going to the cinema. You may have noticed that when we form the near or immediate future in English, we start off with our pronoun, as always, when we're looking at tenses, I, you, he, she, we, all of you, and they. We then use the verb to go, and in English we're actually putting it into what we call the present continuous or progressive. I am going, you are going, he or she is going. And then the next stage is to add our infinitive verb. So that could be any verb, for example, to go, to do, to watch, to eat, to drink. That's how we do it in English. And have you noticed over the last however many lessons we've been learning together, I keep using this structure because I knew we were going to come to this eventually, and I was hoping it wouldn't be too difficult for you. You've heard me say quite a lot, vamos a ver, we are going to see, or let's see. Vamos a continuar, we are going to continue. Vamos a aprender, we are going to learn. Vamos a escuchar, we are going to listen. Vamos a repetir. So let's see how we form this tense in Spanish. So how do we go about forming this future in Spanish? Well, like in English, we start with our pronouns. So we've got yo, I, tú, you, él, ella, he and she, nosotros, we, vosotros, all of you, and ellos, ellas, they. We're going to take the verb ir, to go, and we're going to conjugate it. So what we want is I am going, you are going, he, she is going, and so on. Here are your options. So have a think about which you would place next to each appropriate pronoun. Y vamos a ver, let's see. So I would say, yep, yo voy, I am going. Tú vas, you are going. Él, ella va, he or she is going. Nosotros vamos, you've heard that so many times, we are going. Vosotros vais, you are all going. And ellos, ellas van, they are going. That's step one. So we've conjugated our verb ir. So we've got the beginning of our future, haven't we? I am going. And now step two is quite simply this very important letter. If you don't use that, you won't have formed the future correctly. So, voy a, I am going to, and the final step is to add your infinitive verb. So, for example, if you wanted to say I'm going to eat, voy a comer. I'm going to learn, voy a aprender. I'm going to live, voy a vivir. I'm going to write, voy a escribir. Okay, so conjugation of the verb ir, I'm going, you are going, the letter a, and your infinitive. 3 steps to form the future. ¿Y cómo se dice en español? ¿Cómo se dice en español? I am going to eat. Voy a comer. Don't forget, you don't need to use pronouns in Spanish most of the time. I am going to start with. Voy a comenzar con. What about we are going to drink? We are going to drink. Vamos a beber. What about she is going to have or to take? She is going to have / take. Va a tomar. Como se dice en español, I am going to eat. Voy a comer. You are going to live. Vas a vivir. We are going to write. Vamos a escribir. You, singular, are going to learn. Vas a aprender. Muy bien. And what all that looks like in grid form, and also you might want to take a screenshot of this or make a note. Again, we've got our pronouns. But steps 1 to 3. Step 1, take ir, to go, conjugate it. Step 2, add a. Step 3, add your infinitive verb. And lo and behold, you have formed the immediate future. Vamos. Rellena los huecos con la forma correcta de ir y traduce la frase al inglés. So, what we need you to do here is to fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verb ir, to go. You can use this to help if you need, and then translate the sentence into English. Example, number 1, we've got the pronoun yo, so that tells us the verb here, to go, will be in the first person singular, won't it? So, yo voy a ver, I am going to see. Okay, have a go at the others. Y listos en A, B, C. Okay, there are your answers. Have a look through and see how you've got on. Now, recognizing whether that's through listening to someone talking in Spanish or reading a text, recognizing when a future tense is going to be used is actually quite simple, not just because you've got that three-step process, but very often you're going to hear or read signposts. For example, tomorrow, at the weekend, next week, next month, this weekend, this year, all kinds of signposts that indicate the future will be used. Before we get to those, they are crucial. I want to show you something very briefly, and don't take too much time on this, called demonstrative determiners. It's quite difficult to say, isn't it? Demonstrative determiners. Basically, posh word meaning this and these. So, first thing I want you to do is have a look how to form the words this and these in Spanish. So here are the Spanish words, este, estos, esta, estas, and the equivalent English. So could you just quickly match those up for me, please? Y vamos. So, este, meaning this, referring to a masculine noun and a singular noun, would link to chico, this boy. Estos is masculine but plural, so that would link to chicos, these boys. Esta is feminine and singular, so it links to chica, this girl. And finally, estas would link to chicas, okay? So these girls. A word of caution to you, I've already mentioned how important accents are, and here's another example. For example, the word esta, meaning this, if you add an accent to the end over the A, está, then it means it, he, she, is. And we've seen that when we were talking about where our homes are located. Likewise, estás, you are. Okay, so make sure you check those out, please. Right, let's see if you can now recognise our demonstrative determiners alongside signposts. For example, this day, this month, this morning, and so on, which would often indicate a future tense being used. So just match them up for me. Y listos en uno, dos y tres. Okay, have a look through your answers, and can I just point out the words meaning weekend, fin de semana, literally the end of the week. You can actually contract those words to say el fin de, which is another way of saying weekend. Anyway, have a look through, see how you got on. Y te toca a ti, and it's your turn. I just wanted to point out that there is actually a lesson on demonstrative determiners for you on the Grammar Checkpoint, and there are also more practice materials on Grammar Checkpoint for this future tense, okay? So you can keep having a go at different activities if you want to. Anyway, for now, these sentences in Spanish do contain those determiners plus signposts and your future tense. So could you translate those into English for me? And task B, your red task today, if you could translate those sentences into Spanish. Y listos en A, B, C. Okay, quite a lot for you to have a look through, so I'm going to leave you in peace shortly. If you have any questions about any of this, please just post in the comments below for me, okay? ¿Y qué vas a tomar para el desayuno mañana? Yo voy a tomar cereales, tostadas con mermelada y fruta, por ejemplo, una manzana. Voy a beber un café sin azúcar, pero con leche de avena. ¿Y tú? ¿Y qué vas a tomar para la cena mañana? Yo voy a tomar de primero una ensalada rusa y luego de segundo voy a tomar pollo asado con patatas fritas y verduras. Y de postre voy a tomar un helado de vainilla. ¿Y tú qué vas a tomar para la cena mañana? Venga, muy bien todo el mundo. Hemos terminado, completado. No, I've forgotten a vocab. We haven't finished. Okay, I've written two sentences for you here. One is in the present tense, one is in the future tense. Your job is to work out which is which. Okay, so the signpost here, normally would tell us that's probably going to be the present tense. Normally I eat cereals. Yeah. And here we've got our 3-step process, haven't we, to form in the future. So we've got I'm going to have cereals tomorrow. Signpost tomorrow, okay? Okay, same process. Which of these two is present and which is future? Have a look at this sentence and see if you can work out which tense that is. Okay, so we have here this afternoon or this evening, we are going to drink. We've got our 3-step process again, so we know that's the future. We're going to drink a beer. So that's our future, whilst this one, me gusta mucho beber cerveza. I really like drinking beer. That's present tense. This one, I'm not going to go to McDonald's because it is horrible. So actually that sentence combines both present and future. Okay, that really is it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Join me next time when we're going to look at the past tense and say what we ate. Until then, hasta luego. Adios.